I'm really sad I have to make this video. I didn't want to make this video, especially after we posted a video about 2 days ago called Gearbox needs to change this and or Wonderlands will die. Now, that was a very clickbaity title. The intention of that video was to address some of the problems with Wonderlands, and I was not whining over the game. I know people like to call anyone who complains about a video game a crybaby and this and that, and a couple people did call me a crybaby in the comment section, but that's not what that video was about. And now I kind of have to feel like a crybaby while making this video about the DLC that was released today, and how unfortunately hugely disappointing it is. And it wouldn't be if they didn't decide to time lock the difficulty. Now, let's go ahead and talk about this DLC a little bit. Basically, it's very cool and very awesome, and it's very sad because I was actually watching the PAX event earlier, and Matt Cox, Sam Winkler, some of the lead devs for Wonderlands, I believe Matt Cox is the creative director, and Sam Winkler was the lead story writer or the lead dev, something like that. And they talked about, their company, how much they love their developers, how much awesome work they do, especially because they are working from home during the pandemic and stuff like that. And I fully agree with them. They make awesome content. This game's mechanics are amazing. Wonderlands has had the best launch out of any Borderlands game, the most endgame content on launch. And even in the video from 2 days ago, most of the problems and solutions with Wonderlands only require small tweaks. Like, I would like to fight the raid bosses as standalone raid bosses. That's a tweak, adding an arena to fight the raid bosses separately. Whereas in Borderlands 3, for example, they had no standalone raid bosses. So that's a huge overhaul. They had to create a whole boss to satisfy us. But, with Wonderlands, it's just a small tweak with most of the problems. However, the DLC that released today, as cool as it is and as cool as the maps are, I'm just going to tell you my experience. So when I went into the first level with none of the difficulty modified, I beat it and it was very easy. And I was like, it was whatever, because the boss was on the easiest mode and I knew the boss was on the easiest mode. And so I left and I go back to the portal and it says I can go to level 2. So I go to level 2. The boss is a little bit harder. He has a little bit more mechanics. It's actually pretty cool. I beat that. I come back out. I go to level 3. The boss is even cooler, has more cool mechanics. And I'm like, okay, cool. What's up with those events? I thought they said they're going to release 4 events later on. So I was thinking about that in the back of my head. I go to level 4. I reach the level 4 boss, which I'm actually going to show you guys right now. I come back out, and it turns out that they accidentally released all 4 of the bosses, and they put out another hotfix, which removes the 3 levels that I played this morning and only leaves level 1 of this boss in this DLC. And the 3 weeks of events, so we have to wait 3 more weeks. Well, I don't, because I have it, and actually it's a hotfix, so I'm pretty sure you can just boot the game in offline mode if you want to face level 4 of the boss. But their intention was to make us wait 3 more weeks to get the fully leveled version of this boss in a DLC that it is cheaper than story DLCs. It's only $30 for the season pass instead of $50, which is their normal price. But we have to wait 3 full weeks to fully play the shortest DLC they've ever released. And it's like I said, it's really sad because I was watching PAX and they were bragging about their devs, which rightfully so. They've made an awesome game, but there are just certain decision-making things that I don't understand how they come to these decisions. Like, why would you put a time restriction on the difficulty of the boss in this DLC? And by the way, the first level is honestly pitiful. Like, if I loaded this DLC today and the first boss was the only one I could have played, which many of you are going to load this DLC, and the first boss is all that's going to be there, I would have been disappointed, okay? But somebody messed up at Gearbox, and I was able to go through all 4 levels, and I'm happy with this DLC with all 4 levels. But for the vast majority of players who are playing with hotfixes applied, that's not going to be available to you. And I don't, like, dude, I'm not trying to be a crybaby complainer, but it's just like, it's like I said, they are great developers, they do great things, but whoever is in charge of the decision making and whoever comes up with some of these ideas, like, really needs to stop it and get some help. That's all I really got to say about it. Now, with that being said, I kind of don't want to talk about this anymore. I'm just going to show you guys the 4th level of this boss because it's very cool. And it's not my fault. It's not like I hacked the game to leak this. Gearbox put this out there themselves this morning, and I just haven't reloaded my game yet. So I'm able to fight against him until my hotfixes get applied. Which, to be honest, I won't be applying my hotfixes. So here is Chums, the old god. And this is the level 4 Chums. Now, I am only on Chaos 20. And I have a very cracked OP build. And it is worth saying that, yeah, I did melt him really quickly, even on level 4. But these are some cool boss fighting mechanics. And if all 4 levels were released today, I do think players would not really be upset with this DLC. And I just know for a fact other people are going to be upset with it. Also, the fact that this isn't Chaos level 35 yet, which obviously I'm not going to have that right away. The patch just came out. But over the weekend, I'll probably get to Chaos level 35 and retry the boss. And I'm sure he will be much more difficult. Now, he does not seem raid boss worthy, but it is a very cool boss with very cool mechanics. And I think it would be much more enjoyable if people could grind to the max level of this boss from day one. Now, one thing you guys are going to notice is it's very cool. You actually can die respawn him. So you actually don't have to go through... Shit, I need to get over there. So you actually don't need to go through the encounter all 4 times, like every time. You can actually just die and respawn farm him. And get some of the new DLC loot that way. That's how I've been getting some. So there's another hot tip for you guys. And I found that out on accident because I died after I killed him to like a dot or something. And when I respawned, he did too. He didn't drop anything. Let me see what this drop over here was. Here's a new DLC item. Anyways, it's like I said, like, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. I didn't want to have to record this video today. I would have loved for them to just release the full content on launch instead of gatekeeping the difficulty and then releasing difficulty as an event, which is a little bit tacky. It's like, I don't know what to say anymore. It's not like I'm going to quit Wonderlands. I'm still going to be playing, but I just don't understand the decision-making of some of these developers. Like, their work is amazing. This game is pretty amazing. Best launch in Borderlands history, but just some of the decision-making for what goes into the game and what comes out of it, and so on and so forth. And whoever had the idea to lock this event behind a timer, I don't know what to tell you. So that's going to be it for me, guys. Please leave a comment down below what you think about this DLC. Do not just take my word for it. Like, I know how social media influencers, like, I don't call myself an influencer, but I know that when I make an opinion, surely I do have an influence on my own community. And, you know, I don't just want to be a negative voice out there because I did post another negative video 2 days ago. Even though it wasn't intended to be negative, it was more so addressing a lot of complaints that I just saw around the community. I didn't make up half those problems and complaints. I saw other people complaining about that stuff, and I came up with solutions and wanted to talk about it in that video. But this video is definitely complaining, and yeah, we're just going to go ahead and cut it there. Please drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel for more Wonderlands videos. Don't worry, I won't be going anywhere, but I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.